Good afternoon, grade 12s. Welcome to our revision session um, for lesson 14. Now, I just want to let you know, I just want to tell you what's the purpose of this revision. Now, grade 12s. On Thursday, as a STEAM digital school, we are writing a formal assessment. So the same formal assessment will be distributed to you guys either tomorrow morning or today later. Or I'm not sure whether they've posted it for you guys to attempt it or not. But what's the plan for this formal assessment? Since we are an online schooling or online school, basically, we expect everyone who's part of us to attempt that assessment or test. That test, guys, will equip you and help you for your preliminary exams that are taking place in September, and also for your final exams that are taking place in November and December. Now, what we're going to do, boys and girls, is I want everyone to do well in the revision test that we're going to write. So you must do it at home under your own supervision. Basically, you must print it out. It's a 4-page thing. You can print it at back to back. So basically, it's going to be like 2 pages if you print back to back. So you must print that worksheet or that assessment or test. You are expected to do it within that duration that is given to you. So basically, within that duration, what we're going to do, basically, we're going to check, we're going to mark afterwards and be like, okay, on Thursday, we are marking as our marking revision. So we'll be marking that test, basically, or that assessment, right? So that you can see where you went wrong. So basically, you'll be doing your self-marking on your own at home while we're marking here on class, basically. Then you can also ask questions if you do have any questions. Now, grade 12s, it is very important for you to attempt the test that is going to be posted later on today or tomorrow morning, right? So that when we do corrections, you would know where you went wrong. If you don't do the test and you wait up until we do the corrections on Thursday, you won't be learning anything, boys and girls. So please, I'm encouraging you to push and strive for the best and do very well in this test. And now, your test, it will be on total quality management, your TQM, right? So it's your TQM. So that's why we'll be doing a revision on TQM today. I'll be taking through things that you need to know on your TQM, things that you need to look after and stuff like that, right? So now, without wasting anything, I just want to go to our TQM, basically. Right. So now, before we are starting, I need to explain, boys and girls, that, okay, your total quality management, what is it and what does it mean, right? So your total quality management is the meaning of your total quality management, your TQM. So basically, guys, we have dealt with a quality, right? But now we're speaking of total quality management. We've dealt with quality. We know what quality is and stuff like that. But now we need to look at our total quality management. What does it entails and what it is? And your test will be asking you based on your total quality management. Now, boys and girls, the meaning of total quality management, your TQM, it is an integrated system methodology applied through the organization, which helps to design or produce or provide quality products or service to customers, right? So I need my highlighter right now. I need my highlighter. All right, I've got my highlighter now, right? Your TQM is an integrated system methodology applied throughout the organization. So it is being applied in the organization, right? Which helps to design, produce, provide what? Quality products or quality service. So your TQM helps us to, it is being used in an organization or in a business to provide or to produce or to design your quality products or service. So we need to have a total quality management in order to produce quality. Does it make sense? It, it is a thought revolution in management where the entire business is operated with customer orientation in all business activities, basically, right? So it is very important that, sorry, it is very important for you. Okay, I need my highlight. Okay, I don't know what happened. Sorry about that. So, boys and girls, as I was saying, it is very important for you to understand and know what does it mean when we talk about your TQM. Also, your TQM enables business to continuously improve on delivery of products or service in order to satisfy the needs of customers. So it helps the business also, right? It helps the business to continuously improve the delivery of products or service in order to satisfy customers. Because uh, if we've got a good total quality management, it will help us to deliver good also. Management ensures that each employee is responsible for the quality of his or her workstation. Very good. I mean, very important point, right? Also, your TQM focuses on achieving customer satisfaction and looks for continuous improvement in all the businesses, processes, products, and services. So your TQM focuses on achieving customer satisfaction, right? So we all about achieving customer satisfaction and looks continuously improvement in all business processes, products, and services. TQM takes steps to ensure the full involvement and cooperation of all employees in improving quality, right? So it ensures that there is a full involvement, right, and cooperation of all employees in improving your quality. Now, boys and girls, what are the things or the things that we need to look after when we're looking at your total quality management? The elements, basically, what does your total quality management entails, basically, right? So basically, boys and girls, your total quality management elements are, you must, it is a continuously improvement to processes and systems, right? It's a continuous skills development or educational training. Also, it's a total for, or you need to look at the total client or satisfaction, the adequate financing and capacity, the monitoring and evaluation of quality processes, isn't it? So very, very important, guys. You need to be able to know that, okay, your TQM, it looks at what? Those are the elements, basically. It looks at your processes and systems. How does your TQMs affects your development or education training? How does your TQM affects your customer satisfaction? How does your TQM affects your financing and capacity? How does your TQM affects the evaluation of quality processes? Now, guys, I'm just going to touch base on this, guys. Remember, we did this in class sometime 2 weeks back. Yes, we did these in class. So I don't want to repeat myself, but this is just a recap of what we've already did in class grade 12s. This also preps you for your test that you'll be writing tomorrow and Wednesday, and that test will be marked on Thursday. So please, 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 grade 12s, make sure that you are ready for your assessment. And why I'm doing this revision, so that it can help you to sort of like understand the test that is being written on, that is being marked on Thursday, but it will be written by you at home. Right. Let's look at the impact of total quality management elements on a large business. Now, let's look one of these elements one by one and sort of like try to discuss them or briefly break them down so that it can just make sense to us. All right. Now, grade 12s. So basically, we're going to look at the impact, continuous improvement to processes and systems in a large business. So we're going to look at the positives and the negatives, right? So what are the positive things about the processes and systems on a large business? We know that the large business have more resources to check on quality performance in each unit, right? So they've got resources in the large businesses. They've got enough resources to do all the processes and systems basically, right? Also, your enough capital resources are available for new equipment required for the processes and systems, right? Also, the large business have a person dedicated to the improvement of the processes and systems, isn't it, boys and girls? Now, it is also important that under the processes and systems that you must be willing to take risk or trying new processes and systems because they are able to absorb the impact of losing money. They can also afford to use services or quality cycles to stay ahead of their competitors, isn't it? Right. Now, let's look at the negative things when it comes to processes and systems. Now, you must look at your large scale manufacturing can complicate quality control basically. Remember, guys, if you've got a large scale of manufacturing, it can just ruin whatever you have, basically, boys and girls. So it is very important for you to understand and see on how you have to basically indicate those, right? Also, the negatives, oopsie, sorry, I don't know what's happening with my cursor, and I need to go up. All right, here we go. Sorry. So now we're still looking at negatives between processes and systems, right? So also the risk of changing parts of the business that are actually working well, also that might play to a role. Not all negative feedback from employees and customers is going to be accurate, which may result in incorrect or unnecessary changes to systems and processes. Right. Now, let's look at the second component of, or the second element of your total quality management. Let's look at your continuous skills development or education and training, right? So remember now, these are the elements of your total quality management. What does it mean about these elements? Let me go back, Rachel, so that I can just explain to you why do we have these elements and how are these elements going to help us? These 5 elements, basically, guys, in order for you to have a good total quality management, you must have process and systems, you must have skills development, education, training, you must have uh, a, a customer satisfaction, you must have a financing and capacity, you must have evaluation of quality and processes. So it is very, 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 very important, great works, to know these things that, okay, how do they affect? So sometimes they won't say elements per se, but they can use other words, of like, maybe what are the pillars of a good total quality management? The essay can come like that, or any other thing, basically, boys and girls. So it is very important, guys, to understand what you're dealing with. You don't have to cram your notes at the end of the day. But as soon as you understand, boys and girls, I'm telling you, you'll do well in that exam or assessment. Right. Right. Now, let's look at the second one, right? This is the one that we were still busy with. So this one, basically, boys and girls, it talks about what? It talks about your skills development, your training, and on large businesses, basically, right? Let's look at the positive things or good things about your skills and training. Remember, guys, I'm just doing a touch base. We've already covered this in class 2 weeks back. I'm just a touch base so that you know that, okay, at least you have revised for your assessment so that you can sit down, you'll be able to know, okay, what things I still need to do, what things I don't have to do, isn't it? Perfect. Right. Now, let's look at the education or training or skills development. We know that businesses have human resources department dedicated to skills and training and development. Also, your human resources, of which is your HR, expects ensure that training programs are relevant to increase the customer satisfaction. So, very important, guys. The HR makes sure that we do as many as we can training programs so that it can help us, guys, to do what can help us to understand what we're working with, and also to develop us, basically, boys and girls, in our jobs and stuff. Now, the large businesses could conduct skills audits to establish the competency or education levels to staff performing work, which could affect the quality of products or processes positively. Very important. Also, may be able to hire qualified trainers to train the employees on regular basis, right? Very important, guys. So even me, guys, as a teacher, I still attend trainings, guys. I've got years and years teaching, but I'm telling you right now, I still attend trainings because when we what you call when we teach, we are expected to know our stuff. All right. Sorry, guys, about that. I think there was a technical problem or whatsoever. I'm really sorry. Yeah. So now we've just finished the positives when it comes to skills and development, right? Now let's look at the negatives when it comes to skills and development, right? Uh, Now, also, the poor communication systems in large businesses may prevent effective training from taking place, right? So it is very important also to know the negatives that since we are a large business, basically, if the information to us is not communicated on time, so basically that will might have a impact to us. It might seen as a negative thing. Also, trade employees may leave for better jobs after they've gained more skills. So, boys and girls, it is very important. Some companies, they've got restrictions that, okay, you must work for us in the next 5 years since you've attended this training. Because remember, guys, companies or businesses, they pay for these training that we're attending. It can be a short course, it can be a what you call a long course. Some companies or businesses, they pay for their workers to go advance themselves with certain qualifications, degrees, certificates, you name them, guys. And companies, they spend thousands and thousands for their employees to be uh, more equipped, so that they can give a good customer satisfaction. But other employees, immediately after getting that qualification or immediately after that, doing that training and got the certificate, what they do, they immediately leave or apply for another jobs or better jobs that pays more, and they leave the existing or the current business or company. Of which it can be seen as a negative thing in a company because it's like they've invested on someone who did not care at all, isn't it? Now, also sometimes these trainings and thingy, it demotivates your employees, right? If they do not receive recognition for training, it is very important, or it is very vital for your businesses to always compensate your employees with a form of it can be a medal or a certificate or whatever, so that it can encourage you as an employee that, what, you've got something to point and say, actually, I've worked, or I did this training, and this is what I was given. Some of these certificates, you can even put them on your CVs, and even when your employer wants them, you can always issue them, to get my point. So it is very good to get sort of like a recognition. Um, I know most of the training gives out certificates. That's one of the recognition they give. Others, they give you sort of like a what you call, sort of like an accreditation, yeah, an accreditation. Basically, it accredits you, basically, if you want to do a certain thing already on their system. It will appear that you once did that, so that thing will motivate. But guys, do you understand with me? If you're just doing a training, uh, you don't even know on what you're going to do. You don't even know what you're going to do, and when and how. So it is very important. Also, employees may not be aware of the level of competency they should meet in order to achieve their targets. It may be difficult to monitor or evaluate the effectiveness of training. Does it make sense? Also, it's very important, right? Now, boys and girls, I also want us to look at the impact of your total client or customer satisfaction. So now let's look at our customer satisfaction. We know that with the customer satisfaction, what are the good things is that we'll get recognition, basically, right? So continuously promote a positive company's image. So you'll get a positive company's image by applying what you call a good total quality management. Does it make sense? Also, you may achieve a state of total quality satisfaction if the business follow sound systems, sound business practice that incorporate all stakeholders. Also, to strive to understand the fulfill customer expectations by aligning. Sorry, sorry, guys. Aligning cross-functional teams across the critical processes, basically, right? Also, boys and girls, another thing that okay, I need my highlighter. All right, I've got my highlighter now. All right. Also, another thing that you need to know, it may lead to higher customer retention or loyalty, and business may be able to charge high prices. Also, your large businesses may be able to gain access to global market. Also, may lead to increase the competitiveness or profitability. Isn't it, boys and girls? Now, let's look at the negatives when it comes to this customer satisfaction, right? So, the negatives about this customer satisfaction, it can be employees who seldom come into contact with customers, often do not have a clear idea of what will satisfy their needs, right? Also, your monopolistic companies have increased bargain power, so they do not necessarily have to please customers. Not all employees may be involved or committed to a total client satisfaction. Right. All right. Now, the fourth one is about financing and large business. I mean, financing and capacity. So, boys and girls, when it comes to financing and capacity, the positives is that large business have sufficient financing to test everything before implementing. We know that majority of the large businesses, when it comes to money, they are more they do have money majority of the time, so it's easier for them also to do all those trials, to test whatever they want to test before using that product, because I mean it's a large business. They can incur those costs. It's not a problem to them, whereas in a small business that might be seen as a problem or a threat. Now, also they can afford to have systems in place, right, to prevent errors in processes or defects in raw materials or products, right? Also, they can be able to afford product research or market research to gather information because they are a large business, which means they've got lots of money. And these are your negative stuff about your financing and capacity. Let's look at the last element before we close, boys and girls. So basically your last element, it's about quality process on a large business. So these are the good things about your quality process. You need to know that your quality process prevents products, defects, and minimize wastage. So it minimizes what? It minimizes wastage or customer complaints. Also, good quality checks or produce or minimize the replacement or breakdown of equipment or machinery on a regular basis. May be equipped to get things done right time, right the first time. So also you must be able to improve performance and maintain the quality standards. We must also improve the current and the future management of quality outputs or outcomes impact. So provide clear indication about quality aspects that are contributing to the achievement of goals or targets. Also, boys and girls, you must modify interventions that may improve the efficient use of resources. You must also support management to acquire information needed to make informed decisions about the processes. Also, your cost of production is reduced as deviations from set standards can be corrected, right? So it is very important to know all these points, grade 12s, including the negative ones, right? Remember, grade 12s, that your assessment will be based on your total quality management. And if that being said, it is very important, guys, to know your total quality management. On Thursday, when we mark, it is going to be much more easier for us to mark, guys, as everything is going to make sense. From my side, I say thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until I see you again tomorrow, and have a lovely evening. Goodbye.